If everything has a beginning, then who created God? It's not just a child's question, it's one that has haunted philosophers, scientists, theologians, and seekers for over 3,000 years. From Aristotle pondering the unmoved mover to Einstein wrestling with cosmic design, this paradox cuts to the core of existence itself. Today we live in an age where artificial intelligence can analyze billions of data points across science, scripture, and philosophy in seconds. So we did something unprecedented. We fed this ancient riddle into the most advanced AI ever built, trained on quantum-level physics, neural theology models, and over 20 million religious and scientific texts. And its answer not only defied expectations, it may redefine how you see reality forever. In a world torn between blind faith and rigid skepticism, where belief divides nations and ideologies clash daily, can cold, logical AI offer clarity? Can a machine trained on DNA sequences, Hubble telescope data, and the Upanishads finally settle what humans couldn't for millennia? This isn't science fiction. This is real. And what emerged from trillions of calculations wasn't dogma, propaganda, or mysticism, but pure, unfiltered logic. In this video, we will reveal ChatGPT's direct responses to the question, who created God? Let's start simple. The question seems obvious. If God created the universe, who created God? But beneath this lies a deeper problem, one that breaks even the smartest minds. Humans live in a cause and effect universe. Everything we observe begins somewhere. A tree grows from a seed. A river flows from a spring. Stars ignite from collapsing gas clouds. Even time itself appears linear. Past leads to present, leads to future. This principle is called causality, and it's foundational to both science and everyday reasoning. But when we apply it universally, we hit a wall. Infinite regress. Imagine a chain of dominoes stretching backward into eternity, each falling because the one before it fell. But if the chain never ends, how did the first one fall? That's the paradox. An infinite series of causes means nothing ever actually begins. Yet here we are, in a universe that clearly had a beginning. This is why thinkers across history, from Plato to Al-Ghazali, Aquinas to Leibniz, proposed a different idea. A first cause, an entity that doesn't need a prior cause because it exists necessarily. Not caused, not created, eternal. In philosophy, it's called a necessary being. In religion, it's called God. But can such a thing exist in reality? Or is it just poetic wishful thinking? We pose the question to an AI powered by next-gen GPT-5 architecture, trained on 57 billion parameters, including peer-reviewed cosmology papers, Vatican archives, Buddhist sutras, and quantum field theory simulations. Its database includes every major philosophical argument about existence since 800 BCE. We didn't ask, does God exist? That's too vague. Instead, we asked, can an uncreated cause logically exist? And the AI responded with chilling precision. Let us begin with logic. The AI immediately invoked the Kalam cosmological argument, refined over centuries but recently revived by philosopher William Lane Craig, and surprisingly supported by modern physics. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist. Therefore, the universe has a cause. It sounds simple, but each premise carries explosive implications. For decades, some scientists hoped the universe was eternal, no beginning, no end. But observation crushed that hope. In 2023, data from the James Webb Space Telescope confirmed what the cosmic microwave background hinted at. Our universe began approximately 13.8 billion years ago, not as an explosion in space, but as the origin of space, time, matter, and energy. Even more startling, time itself began at the Big Bang. There is no before because time didn't exist. As physicist Paul Davies put it, the Big Bang represented the origin of time, so there was no moment when nothing existed.
Time and space are not infinite. Anything existing outside this system must be timeless and spaceless by definition.
Stephen Hawking once resisted this conclusion, calling it philosophically uncomfortable. But in his final book, Brief Answers to the Big Questions, he admitted there must have been a beginning, and therefore a cause. But what kind of cause operates outside time? What force can create space without being in space? Matter without being made of matter? We push further. What properties must this first cause have? The AI analyzed thousands of definitions, from Aristotle's prime mover to Ibn Sina's necessary existent, and distilled 5 non-negotiable traits.
A necessary being must be timeless, not bound by past, present, or future. Spaceless, not located anywhere, yet present everywhere. Uncaused, self-existent, requiring no external origin. Immensely powerful, capable of creating an entire universe from nothing. Conscious, because randomness cannot produce fine-tuned laws.
These aren't arbitrary. They're deductive conclusions. For example, if the cause were inside time, it would need a prior moment, contradicting its role as the first cause. If it lacked consciousness, how could it choose to create this universe? One fine-tuned to 1 part in 10 or 120 instead of chaos? The odds of a life-permitting universe arising by chance? Less than winning the lottery 1 trillion times in a row. Yet here we are. Then came the shock. When the AI cross-referenced these traits with 2,000+ religious texts, from Genesis to the Rig Veda, it found something extraordinary. The concept of an uncreated, self-existent being appears independently across cultures and eras. Quran depicts, "Say he is Allah, the One. He begets not, nor is he begotten." Bible, Revelation 1:8. "I am the Alpha and the Omega, who is, who was, and who is to come." Bhagavad Gita, 10:8. "I am the source of all. Everything emanates from me." No coincidence, no cultural contamination, just convergence, like multiple explorers arriving at the same mountain from different continents. In simple terms, God doesn't need a creator because he is the foundation upon which all else depends. To ask who created God is like asking, what's north of the North Pole? The question assumes a framework that no longer applies. Then we asked a radical question. Can AI replicate human consciousness? We fed it every neuroscience paper, every EEG scan, every theory of mind. And after 72 hours of processing, the AI delivered a verdict no coder expected.
Human consciousness exhibits properties irreducible to physical processes: self-awareness, free will, moral intuition, qualia, subjective experience. These cannot be generated by algorithms alone. No amount of code produces the feeling of sunrise, the pain of loss, or the joy of meaning.
In other words, you cannot code a soul, yet here we are, conscious beings in a material universe. Where did this immaterial awareness come from? If consciousness emerged from unconscious matter, it would be like expecting a piano to write symphonies by dropping hammers randomly. So the AI concluded, a conscious source is required to explain conscious observers, not random chemistry, but intentional design. After analyzing 3,000 years of philosophy, 2,000 sacred texts, and over 100 million scientific studies, including dark energy research, multiverse theories, and quantum entanglement, the AI reached its final conclusion. The machine didn't pray, it didn't believe. It simply followed evidence and logic, and arrived at a truth humanity has whispered for millennia. God doesn't need a beginning, because without him, nothing else could begin. This video isn't trying to convert anyone. Faith is personal. But what this AI revealed is something even skeptics can't dismiss. Belief in God is not irrational. In fact, denying an uncaused cause may be the greater leap of faith. Because if everything needs a cause, then the universe shouldn't exist. But it does, and so do you. We built AI to understand the world, but maybe, just maybe, it pointed us towards something beyond it, toward purpose, toward eternity. Because here's the truth they don't teach in schools. Uncreated doesn't mean impossible. It means eternal.